Guys, what's up? Have a very, very exciting deck profile. Possibly a little too exciting.
Yep.
And we have a day one. We have the Destiny board. Me and PB have worked pretty hard on this deck. Got to give credit to both of us.
Yep.
It's almost crazy how much synergy there is with everything once we break everything down. But let's get started. Play one copy of Tour Guide of the Underworld. This lets you search a level 3 fiend, summon it, and going to not rank 2 plays, link 2 plays.
Yeah,
and
link to.
we typically summon Cherubini, and then we summon another monster, another fiend monster, and we get various effects.
Yep.
And also, yeah, we'll get to it the further we go. Play one copy. This is pretty serious. One copy of Cyberstein. Reason we're playing this is basically just to summon the Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight.
We'll explain that in a bit.
Yeah, we'll explain that. It'll all make sense once everything goes down. We play 3 copies of Sangan. Of course, this is the new text of Sangan. Sangan helps us search Cyberstein. Sangan helps us search Tour Guide. It helps us search all this crazy stuff. We play one Cyberstein and searchable very easily with Sangan. You just link Sangan away, you summon like an All Mirage or something, and then you get to add the Cyberstein. You can't activate its effect that turn, but because this is a slower stall deck, you can actually activate the Cyberstein the following turn, and then use Dark Magician the Dragon Knight to protect all of your final countdown back row. Then we play 3 copies of Battle Fader. This is yet again another fiend. So it is searchable both off of not off of Tour Guide. Do not search. That is not true.
Well, basically, you can search anything from.
Yeah, from Sangan, but you can search it off of Sangan, which is nuts because now you get let's say you opened with Cyberstein, you can search the Battle Fader, and with Battle Fader you can now negate an attack, which is just it's terrific synergy. Then we play 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Winter Cherries. This is basically another card you can search off of Sangan. It's just if you have all of your other combo pieces here, you just search the Ash and then you get a free negate of a search, right? You just interruption, whatever you want to call it. Then we play 3 copies of a new card. It's called Dark Spirit Mastery. So first effect, discard 1 card, add 1 Destiny board or 1 level 8 monster from your deck to your hand. That's effect number 1. So you can add.
Oh, yeah. Grapha?
Yeah, Grapha. We were discussing this. You can actually add Lava Golem, which is kind of crazy. You can add Lava Golem, and then, let's say you're forced to go second, you can side in Lava Golem, and then since you're playing 3 copies of this, you discard a card, add Lava Golem, and tribute 2 of their problem monsters, which is kind of insane. Because I think this is the first time Lava Golem's been searchable, really searchable.
Yeah.
Not with some BS, but, actually searchable. So you can you can search Lava Golem, and that is pretty bonkers. And then its second effect, which is perhaps even the better effect in this deck. So one is to get Destiny board, which is really good, or the level 8. That's the first effect. Second effect, you activate during a different turn than the first effect. So basically, you can banish this card from the graveyard and then target, and then place any number of Destiny board or Spirit Message cards with different names from your hand or graveyard to the bottom of the deck. So usually from your graveyard, because if they pop them or something, you can bring them back. And then you can draw that same number of cards. So let's say, because when you destroy a Destiny board card, you lose all of them. So let's say you have 5 in the graveyard, you can target all 5 of them, put them at the bottom of your deck, and then draw 5 cards. So you get to re-loop them for free, basically. I forget recycle them. Yeah, you get to recycle them basically for free. This and one other card gets to recycle them, but that's just nuts. You can just.
Yeah, even if you draw into it, you could just add it back to the deck and get other cards that disrupts your opponent's turn.
That's exactly right. But yeah, basically it's just nice. Then we play 3 copies of Dark Sanctuary. This is the field spell for the deck. It does so much. So first of all, if a Spirit Message card is to be placed on the field, you can actually summon it instead of putting it in your spell and trap card zone. That way your spell and trap card zone never really gets overly clogged, and it becomes a normal monster while it's there. It's unaffected by card effects except for the Destiny board, of course, because you need a win.
And it doesn't even matter if this card's lead, right? Because that's the ruling for it.
What? Yeah. And then basically, they're unaffected by card effects, and they can't be targeted for attacks, but it doesn't prevent your opponent from attacking you directly. And then in addition to that, if they do attack you, You can toss a coin, and if it's heads, you can negate the attack and then inflict life points to your opponent equal to half that monster's attack, which isn't super relevant, the infliction, but like in time, I guess that could help sometimes. Then we play one Mystic Mine. You can bump this up to 3 if you think it's the right move. If it is, go ahead. It might be the right move. And then we play one copy of Terraforming, one copy of Set Rotation. This is a lot of field spell control in this deck. You might want to bump that up to the Mystic Mine after all to 3, but in our testing, we're still on the fence about that. Then definitely 3 copies of Pot of Extravagance.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't draw in this deck, and you really don't use your extra deck all that much. You basically use it for 2 cards, and that's about it, and it doesn't matter if you banish stuff. So that is the spell cards. Now off to the trap cards. We play 3 copies of Destiny Board. Destiny Board basically is the win condition for this deck. When you basically activate this, and then during each of your opponent's end phases, you get to place another card. What is a Destiny Board card out until you spell out, final. As most of you have probably seen it. It's kind of in the anime. You spell out final and you get to win. So basically, with Destiny Board, you spell out the final, and once you spell it out, you win the duel. But like I said, during each of your opponent's end phases, you get to place another piece and another piece, but there are actually other cards in this deck that can cheat out even more pieces, so you can get to the point where you're placing 2 pieces a turn, and you can win in like 3 turns. And when you combine all your other stall cards, it's actually pretty nuts. So yeah, basically, and then the drawback of this is that when any Spirit Message card leaves the field or Destiny Board, you just send all of them to the graveyard. But that's why we play like Protection like this and a few other protection cards that I'll show in just 1 second. But yeah, we basically play 3 copies of this and then 1 of each of the pieces, because they are recyclable. And even if you open with 1 in your hand, you can actually place it from your deck or from your hand. So they're not like you don't want to see them in your opening hand. Obviously, you'd rather leave them in the deck. But if you do open them, it's not the end of the world. Definitely not by a long shot. Another brand new spell card called Sentence of the Doom. This card is another card that's freaking nuts.
That's broken.
Yeah, it actually is broken. So, first of all, you can target any number of your Fiend monsters that are banished or in the graveyard. And that's important because, let's say you lose a monster to Called by the Grave. Like, when you activate this, you can get it back from the banish zone. And then up to the number of Destiny Board cards or Spirit Message cards that you have, and add them to your hand. So, let's say you only have 2, this is automatically a +2. Like, if you have Destiny Board and for example, automatically right off the bat there's a +2 because this stays active on the field. Then its second effect is that you can send this to the graveyard, and then you can place 1 Spirit Board or Spirit Message card. Just a Spirit Message card from your hand, deck, or, and this is important, graveyard, and then activate it as if you got it there from final board. So that is just absolutely nuts, because then it can shorten the time that it takes to win a duel by a turn, because basically during the end phase you're going to activate 1 from Destiny Board from your deck, and then also you're going to activate 1 from this card. So basically you get to cheat out 2 in 1 turn, which is just nuts. And the first effect, it's not like you activate it and then that's it. Like, you can activate that first effect every single turn, so you can keep looping cards like Sangan, cards like
Battle Fader.
Battle Fader. You can keep adding Battle Fader, Sangan, and Tour Guide back to your hand over and over and over and over again. Like, they'll never have a successful battle phase, because you will just keep looping things over and over and over again. And you'll basically win in about 5 or less turns as long as you have a Destiny Board.
Worst case scenario, you could even add Lava Golem back to your hand.
Yeah, or you can add Lava Golem and then retribute cards all over again. So it's just nuts.
And you could use Battle Fader, Lava Golem. That way, they're just taking 1,000 damage.
Yeah, that's true. And you can just burn them out.
Yeah.
Play 3 copies of Threatening Roar. Basically, your opponent doesn't have a battle phase. 3 copies of Waboku. This card, basically, you take no battle damage. They're good because you can just chain them, and then you get them out of your spell and trap card zone. You don't have to worry about them clogging a lane. So, yeah, you don't have to worry about them clogging a spot with the, what are they called? In terms of the the Destiny board pieces. You just get this off real quick, and then you can activate your Destiny board cards with no problems. One copy of Metaverse to search out whatever field spell we want. We have basically 3 cards that search either field spell. We have Terraforming, Metaverse, and Set Rotation. They both search field spells. So it's basically like having 3 Terraformings. And then Metaverse is even better in this deck because you can basically throw out a Mystic Mine during your opponent's turn and they're just screwed. Then we play 3 copies, and this is super, like, it's almost crazy how this stuff works out. 3 copies of Dark Sacrifice. Basically, this card, when your opponent activates a card or effect that would destroy a card or cards on the field, you can negate that effect and then send one level 3 or lower Dark Monster from your deck to your graveyard. So, like, this, it's crazy how, like, how much synergy this card has with the whole deck. So, basically, if they try to destroy your Destiny board pieces, just activate this, send, like, Battle Fader or Sangan or something like that to the graveyard, and then you can just add them back with that trap card that I showed you or something else. Like, it's nuts how much synergy this has. So you could just add them back afterwards anyway. So that's number 1. But also you can, like, interrupt funny plays. Like, let's say your opponent activates Diagram and they try to pop, like, one of their own back row. You can actually negate the Diagram and then send something.
Yeah.
And just interrupt them for no reason. Yeah, but it's crazy. You can, like, interrupt plays on one hand, but at the same time, you can just negate the destruction of your own cards, which is really, really nice. And it works perfectly because it's level 3 or lower dark monsters, which are basically like our whole toolbox that we showed you there. And then, of course, you can just add them back, which is awesome. So that is the main deck. Absolutely stellar. Kind of crazy how things worked out. Now for the extra deck, we play 3 copies of the always cool Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. This card basically always counts as a Dark Magician, totally irrelevant in this deck. But what's awesome about this card is your opponent cannot target, spell, and trap cards while you control this card with card effects at all. So they can't target them. And then on top of that, they can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So if you have this and Mystic Mine and Destiny board on board, like, you're just going to win. Like, they have no out. Like, they'd have to get rid of this. And then afterwards, they'd have to get rid of the Mystic Mine. And then afterwards, they have to get rid of the Destiny board. Like, it's just like, yeah, it's like they literally have no outs. So it just makes everything, like, stupid, like, difficult for them to even deal with.
Yeah, that's why you played, Cyberstein.
Oh, yeah, we play Cyberstein basically to get this guy out.
Yeah.
Then we play 3 copies of, for Link 1s, Link Karibo. This is basically your opponent will attempt to attack you. You'll use Battle Fader that you search through one of a million ways. Negate their attack. They'll end their turn. And then during your turn, you just link it out for a Link Karibo. And then you can just add it back. And then when they attack, you can make their attacker 0. Then they'll get over the Link Karibo. And then you'll just negate the attack all over again. It's crazy.
Crazy part is you could just loop this every time when you get Battle Fader back in your hand. Because, like, you special summon that. Link Karibo has a quick effect, special summon him from the graveyard. So, like, you could just
loop it over and over, like, once you have one. And then we play 3 copies of Salamangreat All Mirage. Basically, any normal summoned monster, you can link away, which is usually going to be the Sangan, and then off the Sangan, you're going to search. So, just stellar, awesome. 2 copies of Cherubini. Only 2 because this is a play that we less likely go into because it's basically off of the tour guide. Like, tour guide is very much searchable and everything, but it's just the less likely play. Yeah. It's better that we have more Link 1s. But basically, this card, you summon this, and then underneath it, like, let's say you summon any of the Destiny board pieces, those 2 Destiny board pieces can't be destroyed by card effects because of the Cherubini. It protects it. And then on top of that, on top of them not being able to be destroyed by card effects, you can actually special summon. You can send one to the graveyard and then get effects based on the trap card that I showed you earlier. I can't find it right now. I put it somewhere. But basically, the trap card, you can send fiends to the graveyard and then bring them back with the Silence of the Doom, like it's Sentence of the Doom. I mean, it's so much synergy. Then we play the 1 copy of Salamangreat Violet Chimera. These are all super poly targets for the ending here. Chimera, Mecha Fleet Dragon. Again, not a super poly target. This one, you just contact fuse 2 of your opponent's Cyber Dragons. Predaplant, a Draco, Spelifia. This is for Thunder Dragon and Pendulum, because a lot of pure Thunder Dragons actually doing well right now, and the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. And I think that's it. I'm not going to show you the side deck. The only thing that in the side deck we're definitely playing is super polymerization. Other than that, honestly, do whatever you want with that side deck.
Yeah.
Like whatever, just basically a bunch of back row removal. Let me show you.
Yeah.
Might as well. So the side deck, basically just a bunch of back row removal and like going second cards like Nibiru and Evenly Matched and Dark Ruler No More and wherever the super polys are.
I'll put it somewhere.
Artifact Lancia, and then for the last cards, super poly.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty insane deck. We're very happy with the results. This is something like we kind of threw together.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like as we were doing it, it's crazy how many cards worked out. But definitely give this deck a try. It's a lot of fun. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like.